My name's Edmund, and just want to quickly introduce myself. You know, when people ask me what do I do, I find it really hard to give a straight answer, to be very frank with you, because depending on who's asking, when they're asking, or how's the context like. You know, if I say I'm working from home and I see it's a young guy working instead of a work-at-home mom, it feels, you know, that it just doesn't fit that, it doesn't capture public imagination, correct? So here's what I really do. Basically, I run an online-based business from home since 3rd March 2005, okay? And I'm in the business of selling information and digital products. To be more precise, I sell this thing called private label rights, meaning to say that my target market are usually speakers, coaches, trainers, information publishers, resellers, webmasters, people who need to sell and share information, all right? But how I got into this business, I'll tell you in a short while, and I'm going to tell you why this is something I enjoy doing, all right? Something for some of you might want to consider. At the present moment, I have 3 staffs and multiple freelance workers, all working from our own homes or wherever we take our laptop to. Okay, just between you and me, I don't use a laptop because I don't like to take my work wherever I go on vacations, all right? So, all right, it's just a personal preference here. I sold away my laptop a few years back, all right? All right. What happened? Oh, that scared me for a while. Okay, for my own personal reasons, why I love being in this business, and this is what I call the 3 currencies of the new rich, all right? For some of you whom I saw, most of you raising your hands right now, yeah, I see that many of you aspire to run a business of some kind, and if you haven't made up your mind just yet, let me try to tell you why you might want to consider taking a business online. For me, I've been in this business, it's already been 8 years already, and for 3 lucrative benefits or reasons. Money. You've heard of how Internet's created many millionaires, correct? Correct? Yes, all right. But to me, money is just isn't enough, because you know there are a lot of businesses that make a lot of money, right? But not all kinds of businesses give you a time freedom, all right? Like for me, I can choose to stop working whenever I want to, and I can choose my working hours as well. How many of you like that? All right? You just help me out here a little bit, all right? You just, a little bit. All right, because how I present here really depends on your response. Everyone agree?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I want to hear. All right, you motivate me, I motivate you. Fair?
Yes.
Okay, good. We're on the same page here. And one more reason is mobility, because I don't like being confined to a cubicle or just one place at all the time. You see, that's why I don't really have a concrete or a conventional office until now. All right, and as you can see here, these are some of the pictures from some of the trips I've been going to, thanks to being able to run a very flexible, profitable, and mobile business all this while. All right, so this is just a very quick one, and personally, I like to indulge in some extreme sports here, as you can see from some of the pictures here. All right, but I'm not showing you all this with the intention to brag. Okay, I'm not showing this with the intention to impress you as well, because let me just tell you this. It's all about what happened 10 years ago today, and why this really means a lot to me tonight. Okay, 10 years ago today, that would be 19 April 2003, correct? So what happened was that 10 years ago today, I didn't have any house. I was just moving out with my mom and my sister. I didn't even have a bank account because I depended on my mom. I was 16 going 17 years old at the time, all right? And what happened was that this was 2003. My parents filed for a divorce at the time. I'm going to spare you the whole drama, but to put a long story short, myself and my younger sister, who was 2 years younger than me, we decided to follow my mother, all right? And as for my father, eventually we will not see him again until now. So my sister, that means I was supposed to be taking SPM, and my sister was supposed to be taking PMR, all right? I'm just curious, how many of you are in high school right now? Wow, okay. Okay, quite some of you. Okay. So for me, at the time, you know how they say that Form 5 is supposed to be the best year of your life, right? The way I spent my so-called best year of my life was that we stopped school halfway. This was me on my last day of school. 4th April 2003, you can see the timestamp over there. And let's just move on, man. All right, that was me at the time. So what happened was that my mom was very emotional, and you know, things were really just messed up the way it was. So, and like any son, you just follow what mom says, correct? How many of you can relate to that? Okay. So she came up with this crazy idea of going to UK. All right. She said, son, since things are, there's nothing for us here, so why don't we just move to UK? And I said, whatever you say, mom. So we went there. And again, a lot of drama happened here. Long story short, things didn't work out, all right? At this point in time, I told all my friends that I'll be leaving for UK, and I'm so glad that many of them didn't really press on, why are you going there and all that. I just said, because my mom said so, all right? Very, very easy alibi. Okay, but things didn't pan out. I went there. I found out there was no school for me, actually, and we had sold our house previously at a fire sale price. That means we sold it at a loss. And at that time, £1 was about 6 ringgit, if you remember. It's not like today. Today, you can go do your London shopping with all the currency dropping right now. But at that time, it wasn't like that. So things were really, really expensive. So things didn't happen. Long story short, I had to come back to Malaysia again. And it was already July 2003. At this time, I'd forgotten everything I had learned. And I had to go back to school. I didn't go back to school in SMK Damansara Jaya. Oh, by the way, that's the school I came from. All right, I didn't dare to go back because I was so embarrassed to see my friends again. They all believed that I went to UK. So how am I going to explain my whole short story all over again? All right, I had to go back to Malaysia again, and a relative suggested that, hey, why don't we go to Johor Bahru so that my mom can work in Singapore, earn twice the currency, and come back, and Edmund can continue his school. All right, and with my sister, of course. So we resumed high school in Johor Bahru. All right, this place we went to in Johor Bahru is called Gelang Patah. I don't think many of you have heard of it until the recent elections. Otherwise, you have never heard of it because I've not been to Gelang Patah for a few years already, but let me tell you what it was in 2003. Very, very ulu. Okay, it's very backward. It felt like I went back in time, really. When I went, those are not really my words, by the way. Those were my own mother's words. She said, it feels like we're back in the 1960s right now, That's how bad it was. So I went there, and I came from a school, SMK DJ, where we were number one in a lot of things like debate, scouts marching, we were number one in cheerleading. And this school that I went to in Gelang Patah, it was also number one in the police station. Because there's a lot of racial fights going on. The day I came in, right, there's a lot of this gangsterism and fights going on. People are not serious about their studies at all. Unfortunately, this was the environment I had to continue my studies. So I continued I finished my SPM here in a very low profile. And I had a friend that was still in touch in DJ at the time. His name is Kayong Shohan. Yeah, he was my friend from school. He helped me out, all right, with my SPM info and all that. So I finished my SPM with 5 A's out of 8 subjects. By DJ standards, not impressive, but managed to finish it somehow, all right? So, next year, 2004. Yeah, I think you're catching on to something right now. Okay, this was me in 2004. So I was really out of school, and I needed a job really urgently, okay? So here's what I did for the whole year. Monday to Friday, I would work as an office boy. Thanks to a friend of mine, he managed to get me a job at his uncle's company. It's a cleaning chemical company, right? And part-time college on Saturday and Sunday. It's not like tailors and whatever high-end education you're thinking of. Yeah, it's just one of those course that I could afford at 1,200 ringgit, all right? But that's how I pulled it off at that time. But to put it very short, how I described that 1 year, it was just crazy. I felt like I was in purgatory. It really felt like I was in purgatory. I didn't have a car at that time, so I had to take two trains to work at the time. I found a place in Segambut. I had to take the LRT to KL Central, and then take the LRT to Kelana Jaya, walk 15 minutes to work, and basically I spent 1.5 hours commuting just like that. Total 3 hours of just commuting in a day. So I spent all my commuting hours reading books actually. At the time, my favorite at the time was those like Rich Dad books and things like that, okay? So I had never read so much in my life before, besides comic books, right? And my former boss was just, in one word, crazy. That's why the staff turnover was very high. How many of you can relate to that? How many of you have got crazy employers? All right, I can see a little bit of people backing up, but never mind. Okay, you know what? You just keep it to yourself, all right? You just keep it to yourself, all right? So I knew that this is a very short-term solution, and I couldn't stay in this job for a very long time as well because people were going in and out, and my colleagues at the time were, you've got this old lady in her 50s always saying, this is how we do it back in my day, young boy, this is how we do it back in my day. All right, and then you have this another lady colleague who's always complaining about her husband, her son giving her problems and all that. And I know I gotta get out of here like real fast, all right? Or else I'm gonna end up in this victim club, Success does not permit victims. There's no room for victims in success. None. And I know I needed to get out of there. So anyways, what I did on my off hours was I tried some crazy ideas, right? I tried to join this multi-level marketing, and as you already probably heard the rest of the story, it didn't work out, right? Like most network marketing stories you heard of, I was one of the statistics, the 95% that didn't make it, okay? Not that I'm proud of it, but that was the truth, okay? It didn't happen. I tried to sell Magic the Gathering. How many of you happen to be playing Magic the Gathering, by the way? All right, maybe we can play one day, we'll see. All right, I tried to sell these cards. I was rich selling these cards, but there was a problem with it. I was not 10 years old anymore. Okay, so that didn't work out as well. And then one day I heard about this possibility about making money online, all right? And it was just one of those ideas at the time, okay? So I wasn't sure whether it would work, but eventually I got into it. The first book I read about internet marketing, and it's worth mentioning, is this man named Senzi, all right? He wrote this book, How to Earn US Dollars in Your Pajamas, a true life account of a Malaysian internet entrepreneur making money in US dollars. Whoa, I remember that. It's something like that, okay? And that book's black and white. It's still there in the bookshop. That book changed my life. It really did. So I read the book. I got excited by the others, but there's only one problem with it. I couldn't afford those 5,000 ringgit coaching programs or anything of that sort, okay? I couldn't afford it. So I tried doing it on my own. So here's what happened. Oh, by the way, just a fun fact. I didn't have many pictures of myself from up until 2005. I didn't have many pictures of myself, but this is pretty much how I looked back then. This is the closest picture I could find. My hair was so long. This is the time I kept my hair the longest in my life. I was so low in self-esteem, and my hair was like here. Really, it was here, and I don't want people to see me. I was so low in self-esteem. I didn't want people to see me, so I was like one of those emo guys. This was before the word emo became cool, okay? All right? Hair was down here, and the checkered shirt, I really wore this checkered shirt to work, all right? I hated my father. I really hated my father, but that was his relic for me, so that I wore my father's shirt to work still, all right? So imagine that. So that was me for the most of 2004. So 2005. After putting up 1 year of being with my crazy boss, I finally found the courage to quit the job, all right? And I had 4,000 ringgit in savings at the time. So if you remember the exchange rate at the time, $1 is about 3.7 ringgit. So I had about 1,000 US dollars plus to start our internet business, okay? I thought it was more than enough. Turns out I was wrong, okay? It's not an exaggeration to say that this was the worst period of my life, because at this time when I went back to Gelang Patah, where my mom still is, she still couldn't get a job, and I was very excited. I said, hey, you know what, Mom? We can make a lot of money online, but son, what about your job? Don't worry about it, man. We can make it, man. So 2 months later, things were not really working our way, all right? And I said, you know what? We're running out of savings, but I say, hey, I still think we can make it. Then my mom threw down the card on me. Son, actually, there's something I didn't tell you. When someone talks to you like that, it's not good, okay? Son, do you know that rent that we owe for 2 months? We actually owe 4 months right now, okay? You know that electric bill? Yeah, that's why you're seeing the rate notice right now. We didn't owe them 1 month. We actually owe 4 as well, all right? And I know that since Gelang Patah didn't have any broadband at the time, it was all dial-up. So my business was started on a 56K dial-up modem, all right? When I heard all this, I just wanted to collapse, wow. That was me. Just wanted to cry. Now, I'm a person who curse and swear a lot. I'm just be very frank with you, but it was so immense that There's nothing to say anymore. There's nothing to say anymore. All right? I wanted to quit this internet business, whatever, jiba jaba. Wanted to get a job again, but for some reason I just didn't get it back. So I went back to trying this internet business again. And after randomly spamming links here and there, back and forth on some forums, whatever, I even had a chick to email some people. I didn't know it was actually called spamming as well, but I did it, okay? I did it. I said, hey, I got this book that I'm a reseller to. Do you want to buy it? I didn't know it's called spamming. So my impression of spamming was spamming on forums. And I didn't know this was spamming as well. But hey, actually, that's how I made my first sale, actually, all right, on the third month. This is how my first sale looked like at the time, all right? So when I made this sale the first time, it came into my inbox. I ran upstairs to the first floor, and I woke my mom up at that time. I said, Mom, we made a first sale. It's like, really? Because my mom was like, you just woke up, right? I just went all the way down. I showed her this, and it's like, wow, is this real? I said, yeah, I think so, because I see it at $97 US over there. And but son, I thought you're selling to Americans, but why is this from Africa? Yeah, my first sale was from Africa, really. It's not the US like most people would have thought so. So to put the whole long story short, I just kept trying, and it came to a point where I was able to clear all my debts by Christmas, okay? I'll tell you one game changer at this point. You know the private labor rights business I was telling you about just now? I got into it by accident, all right? I discovered that this group of business owners who wanted to sell content but didn't have time to make it, all right? So since I had been to so many of those free entry seminars at the time, probably like maybe some of you can relate again, I was able to churn out this content. So what I did was that there was one time there's this guy from Russia. He emailed me and said, Edmund, I like your product, but I was wondering if you have more, all right? And I want to buy exclusive rights from you. I'm willing to pay $550 US, and to me it was big money at the time. So the first day I said, yeah, I have, but I haven't created the thing yet. But I really was hard up for business. I didn't want to lose, because if I said no to him, it's just going to go to somebody else. I was hard up for business. So I said, yeah. I took the money first and then I started creating. So he didn't realize that I created it on the fly, actually. But that's really how I started out at the time. So let me describe, this is how I really felt at the time. I really felt like this. I was so much on fire, and my whole body and my whole being was just so awake to everything. I slept less hours without problems. And every time I woke up, I didn't play any computer games, whatever. I just went straight to work. All right, no distractions, nothing. That's how I was all those time, all right? So, in 2006, all right, I met this guy who I would say is kind of a game changer as well. There's this guy by the name of Kai Eng, and actually he is Kai Eng's eldest brother, all right? How I was introduced to him was kind of strange at first. I think strange is the best word I can find right now. What happened is that, how many of you happen to know who Kylie Ng is? Well, yeah, quite a number of you. Kylie Ng was also my high school senior, and what happened was that somehow I hooked up with him, and Kylie told me to say, hey, I have an elder brother that I want to introduce you to. I said, you have some more brothers? So, okay, I was introduced to him at this A&W in Taman Jaya. It's like our annual meetup right now. So I met up with him, and to put a long story short again, he was something like me. He was looking for a way to get started, and I was just doing quite okay at this time, all right? I didn't have any coaching program whatsoever, but I took him on and taught him whatever I knew, okay? He was actually, honestly speaking, he was in a bit of a financial mess like I was last time, all right? And I brokered him a deal to work with me, all right? So I went to his house, I showed him how to start an internet business just like I did on a mutual partnership on this one-off project, all right? And what happened was that I went to his house in PJ, and we were making, at that time my capacity was that I was able to generate a lot of sales in 24 hours, but I didn't know how to make it evergreen at that time, okay? So when he first saw the sale, like just now that example I showed you, except that it's like times 30, times 50 right now, he was so ecstatic, he was like jumping up at that time, and he was telling his then girlfriend, but who's now his wife, all right, that wow, we're making real money and all that. His then girlfriend was actually a skeptic, you know, all right, because she didn't know whether this is like one of his failed ventures in the process or not, all right. So next morning I woke up, I saw Kai Eng at the computer, all right, refreshing my inbox. My inbox, okay? And he was like, still clicking like the F5 button over and over again, like every now and then. I was behind him, I was like, dude, it's over. We already made all the money with it, it's over. Really, Edmund? Is it over? I said, yeah. We made all the money we could. I said, yeah, sure. You know, it's like how people who gave their all, and that's what Kai did. He gave his all at the time as well, just like I did before. What I didn't know at the time was he was going to be my business partner to this day. As I'm speaking here right now, he's now in Vegas. He's going to be meeting up with some personal development leaders and marketers as well. I'm very happy for him. All right. So yeah, that's him. We're in Indonesia. All right. So anyways, as time went on, I just kept creating new products after products in this information business. I didn't want to give up. I didn't want to relax. Okay, I didn't want to chill out. I didn't say this earlier. When in 2003, I thought it'd be a good idea if I can get a house and a car back by the age of 30. All right, I thought it'd be quite good. So I just kept working on, and by 2008, most of my breakthroughs started coming in. Just to name the 3 top achievements I did at the time, I made my first ringgit by 22nd November 2008, 2 days shy of my birthday at the time. And I was able to also co-author my first physical book called Secrets of Millionaire Students with a guy from Singapore. His name is Stuart Tan. All right, how many of you have heard of Stuart Tan before? Oh, okay, quite some. All right. Yeah, he's from Singapore. He's quite more well known over there. And this is a bonus, so it's nothing to do with money or whatever, but I also got featured in the Star, all right? When I got featured in the Star for the first time, I told my mom about it. The first thing my mom asked is like, Edmund, what do you do? Yeah, all right? But I think that's just mom's, but she's proud of me, and I'm happy with her as well. All right, so as the rest, as they say, is history. So why am I telling you all of this right now is that for some of you, I don't know some of you personally right now. I'm having a few guesses right now. Some of you may come from not so well-to-do families, all right? Some of you may even have a terrible parent, okay? And your well-to-do friends don't seem to understand you at all, and you want to prove yourself somehow. Some of you may be from well-to-do families. Everything's good. Your parents are good. You've got good friends. You've got good grades. You've got good school. You've got a good job. Everything is so good, there's no more room for great. And then when you see friends who are just skyrocketing above you and they come from not so fortunate backgrounds, and you ask yourself, what is it that they have that I don't have? All right? If anything at all, the reason why I continued working at that time was, I can basically sum it up this way. I work hard every day so that one day, every day is a weekend. That's how it was for me. All right, so is the time ready? Okay, I think we're just pretty much on time. So, okay, that pretty much sums up my, hey, that didn't show up. No, it's okay, don't worry, we can talk about it afterwards. So, okay, that's all I've got to share with you. I hope you've learned some lessons yourself, and hope to see some of you later on. All right, so that's it for today, and thanks, AP, for the invitation again. Thank you for your time.
Edmund